Okay. Hi. So let's talk about vices. And this is just my personal opinion on vices and spirituality. Vices and how they have worked in my life and in other people's lives around me. When I started going on this journey, I think that one of the loudest questions was about my behavior, what I did, was I worthy? Was I good enough? Type of energy. Like, can I smoke and meditate? Can I drink and meditate? I didn't know I could channel back then, right? So it wasn't even a matter of like channeling energy, but I will tell you, in some of my most fucked up states of mind, I still heard God very clearly. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh shit. Leaving? Like, I've had protection. God has never wavered from me ever. And I've never tried like hard substances. I am a kid that comes from parents that were addicts and alcoholics. I grew up in AA meetings with my dad, and still I loved alcohol. I never was an indulgent person where it's like it overtook my responsibilities or overtook my actions or impacted relationships. Never did God leave me. Never did I feel, sometimes my perspective was screwed the fuck up because my perception was impacted. Sometimes I didn't learn lessons and I extended myself in certain scenarios and situations because I was numb and I wasn't moving, right? When I knew to move, I just kind of stayed and numbed myself out, which caused me time, which is something that you cannot get back. But again, God's energy never wavered. What I see happen in my life is the more that I participated just a little bit. I started with anger. I was angry. I was angry because my grandmother passed at the age of 67 when I was like 19. And then after I had my son in 2011, my mom passed away like 8 months later at the age of 51. And then when I got pregnant with my daughter 4 years later, my aunt died of a glioblastoma at the age of 49. And I just felt like, why in the fuck why me? Like, why? Because I'm one of nine and all of my siblings have their people, right? But my grandma and my aunt were my people. Like, they were my pillars. My mom I was raised by my dad, and me and my mom had the most difficult relationship, and my mom taught me about love through her death, which is a whole nother conversation for another day. But I went through so much that I just wanted to be numb, or I wanted to sleep at night, or I didn't know how to process all of the grief and the love and the postpartum. And at the same time, I just didn't, right? I was angry because my childhood was like foster care, abandonment, addicts as parents. I'm like, why so much all the time? Like, my life has been anything but fucking cupcakes and rainbows, okay? Anyway, so vices. So the more that I participated a little bit, my dad is a pastor's kid, so I heard scripture all the time. I'm black in America. My grandmas and them, they was in church. I would have to go on Sundays type of stuff, but I always rejected it. It didn't feel complete. It didn't feel right to me. Like, I've always had this rebellious energy, and I've always had this mystical side where I've seen angels and I've seen spirits, and I wasn't intuitive in the way where it's like I knew what was happening, but I knew something. I knew there was more. Okay. And I'm just telling you this because I feel like people struggle with who they are, and I feel like everybody is exactly who they're meant to be. It doesn't mean that there aren't layers to you. It doesn't mean that there aren't things for you to participate in and be accountable for, but who you are and where you are is an allowance from God, right? It's an allowance. You're not in my position. I'm not in your position. And we all are accountable for the positions that we're in. So when it comes to vices, when it comes to can you drink and can you get high and, like sexing, it's an energetic exchange. It's an energetic exchange. And so some of it depletes you, right? When you're having sex with people that are low vibrational or in a mood or like unhappy, depending on if you're the giver or the receiver, it's still an energy exchange. You're participating, right? And then it lowers your frequency because now your own body has to work and transmute this energy into something, and it's shittiness. It's like somebody is fucking feeding you fried chicken and burgers and which is delicious is the point, but it's not good for you. It makes your body have to work harder in order to operate at its peak energy, right? Same thing with getting high. Like when I would get high, I could tap in and I would then go to sleep or be hungry or overeat. So there was still some sense of guilt that came with it because now I got the munchies. I really don't want to gain weight, but I'm about to eat this whole bag of chips. Okay? So there was like this balance. And I don't think that any of it, again, is good or bad. I would have to balance that. When I drank alcohol, I've always liked alcohol. Now it has started to make me sick, and I don't even like that. I get angry. Like, I can't have a margarita, God? Okay. Because my frequency gets so high that my physical body is like, no, bitch, you cannot. Sorry. Stop working on yourself. And then I choose to be this version of me because I feel like this version is the most beneficial to me, to my family, to my kids, to the collective. It is an energetic exchange. So you have to balance your own life in the way that is fitting for you. But don't carry guilt for the things that you do or where you are. Like, will God love you? God is not going to waver. It's not, but the more that you're able to like lose the addictions and the density in the 3D, the higher you're able to raise your vibration. And then you can like touch this frequency, this God-like frequency. You get more in tune with it because you can hear it. It will guide you. Like you'll see things, and not from like a spooky perspective, but for some people, yes. Like you'll be able to navigate life from a higher viewpoint than like the 3D. I'm seeing a city, and then I'm seeing like somebody riding above like on a dragon or standing like a really high viewpoint, right? Where you're able to see the whole thing much clearer and make better decisions. But I want you to know, if you drink, if you smoke, if you love to sex on men or women or whatever your vice is, it's okay. You have to realize its impact to your frequency, its impact to your life. Like, dang, am I sleeping with this dirty ass dude or this dirty ass female? And every time I leave her house, I fucking trip down the steps and I feel sick and I don't want to go to work the next day. Or am I sexing on this person and I feel like I'm in heaven? Like, things are manifesting for me. I am, seeing my life unfold, that type of thing. And if it is, then yay. But it's not a good, bad, right, or wrong, in my opinion. And I hope that helps you navigate your life and your choices so that you have balance and enjoy the 3D. That's why we're here. Okay? I love you.